Fine. Good evening, sir. I'm Naran Desai. I'm HR manager in Pharmalab India Private Limited. And I'm working here with REACT, which has been founded by you. I'm proud to be one member of REACT.
Thank you.
Now, when I was going through your book, you wrote Indian Society Pre-Islamic Period. I have read many authors and historical books, but while going through your book, I am really impressed because the references what you have quoted and the ideology and the philosophy what you have quoted is absolutely impressive.
Thank you.
Now I wanted to ask something.
Please.
You have followed the tradition of helping others. Yes, your parents has already practiced that in their age. Since you carry a very service-oriented culture, I would definitely like to know something about the life of your grandparents.
My grandparents, they had their own business as well as वो स्टेट पे भी काम करते थे 3 states,
Right.
Dhar state, Ratlam state and Selana state. And उनके वहाँ के जो camel थे कि old king used to keep camel for their military purpose and transportation purpose.
Oh, nice.
So my grandparents used to take care of it along with unke, they had their own also, and this is the way my grandparents and parents made their living. And as being a part of the state, they were influential in state affair too, because this is.
In the king era, you mean to say when kings were there in India,
Right.
they must be associated with the empires of the local kings.
Local kings.
Right.
Yeah, when I say state means जो क्या कहते हैं अपने सरकार जिसे और वो रिलेटेड होते हैं ना उसके मिलिट्री के लिए, सो इसलिए वो कांटेक्ट में आते रहते हैं.
Right, but then even being a person from a rural area, you got a very good study, education. So, how being a doctor by profession, you cultivated your interest in social subjects? You know, doctor is purely a scientist,
Right.
but though you thought on subjects like a society, charity, service, so it is really for me an area of interest to know that how you cultivated that interest.
First, you grew up around the people who believe in the service to the other, and when you grow up, even if you become a doctor or engineer or scientist, it's a one-dimensional aspect of life. But to have a full human experience, आपको तो सभी में participate करना पड़ेगा. Human side, service side, your profession side, that makes us complete.
Right.
नहीं तो आप सिर्फ डॉक्टर ही बन जाओ या इंजीनियर ही बन जाओ ना, so life is not complete. You just go office, come home, go office, come home. It's a good life. You people earn good income, but it's not complete psychologically.
Fine. In fact, I was going through the book, and you have referred the old age like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro areas. But from day one, even from beginning of the world, pre-Islamic period, what you are quoting, you have also supported the classism and not the casteism. In old era, people were categorized with the different classes, their economical classes somewhere. And you have also supported that kind of society which was there in ancient India. Can you tell me why that system was then broken on a later part?
During Vedic period, and all that people were classified according to their profession. Like whoever did reading and worship, they were called Brahmin.
Right.
And who protected the population, they were called Kshatriya. And who grew grain and tended the animal, they were called Vaishya. And anyone who provided service, they were called Sudra. Sudra doesn't mean untouchable. Sudra means
service people.
Service people. And during those time, every society classify people. Even today, we classify that he is a doctor, he is a lawyer, he is a banker. That's natural because it's a shorthand of telling people what the person does. At that time, during Vedic time, there was not any barrier for a person to change profession and go into a different group. So there was no caste system, it's a profession, and that's natural. But when time came to protect their monopoly, and just like today, any father would like his children to have as much advantage as he can provide. So the people who wrote the Veda and people who did the worship, they are the one who made the rule. So they made themselves Brahmin. What is the Brahmin? It came from Brahma. Brahma is the god. From his navel came Vishnu, and Vishnu came as avatar, as Indra. So the person who wrote, made himself Brahmin at the highest level and told everyone that I am the highest level. Otherwise, then there is a God in one sense that
every soul is a form of a God and Almighty.
Right. And there is universal force.
I was referring one paragraph, sir, where, I'm sorry. Start?
Yeah.
While you are thinking of classism rather than casteism, you have supported that weaker section should be properly been treated. And I was referring one paragraph in which you have very clearly said, if this is the case in old Vedic literature, then why Manusmriti become so dominant philosophy, while other Smriti did not took hold? The explanation lies in vested interest of powerful people in society of the time. They created ready-made servant and slavery class. They created for their comfort,
That's right.
for their benefit, and monopolized trade and lucrative profession for themselves. They wrapped caste system in religion grab to give it an authenticity.
That's right.
They made addition to Manusmriti as needed from time to time. You mean to say Manusmriti by itself is being deteriorated, been modified for the comfort of their life?
That's right, for the benefit of the
and
people.
To exploit the weak and poor people of the society for their benefit.
That's right. And Manu is a sect. There's not any Manu, single person.
Right.
It's a sect, and people who created, they are even today, अगर आप कोई को, if you give a power to someone, they will exploit power. That's a human nature.
It's a human nature. Right.
So, and people who wrote Manusmriti, they exploited the weak and poor for their benefit. And weak and poor were not educated, especially in Sanskrit that time.
Here you have mentioned the translation of the hymn of Rig Veda by Wendy Doniger. It is all about the Almighty who creates, commands and recreates the universe. It's talking about. We have been talking about Sanatan Hindu Dharma. Is it the same that you are referring to?
Sanatan Dharma came afterwards, after 1,000 years. It is a new concept. Sanatan means sansara, and that concept came later on. But Vedic period is the initial thought of human came when we sit down. Today we have so many facility and knowledge is exploding, but 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, when men sit down in a fireplace cooking food after killing animal or whatever, or having a meeting around the fire, you wonder, look at the star and say where they are, what they are. So you wonder, and the people wonder, who is the God? Who made the mountain? This is normal curiosity. Even today, we are curious how to go to Mars, how to go to moon. We already been, human has already been to moon. And that's the beauty of human mind. There is no other animal on world who has a power of contemplation. We contemplate, we think, we internalize, and then we invent the solution. And that makes us human.
But you accept the existence of one superpower like a God?
We accept there is a universal force or law, but gods are invented by human beings, because who is Brahma, who is Allah, who is
so visualization and picturization by human being, but still superpower is there.
Universal law is there, and that's yeah, you are right, superpower is there, but we call them according to our idea where we are.
Now, as you said, Aryas migrated from the Central Asia. When we are talking of Indian civilization, Indus Valley, they migrated from Central Asia, and specifically for the comfort of the animal, for the grazing of the animals. Can we say that Dravidas were the original Indians?
Yes, they were. Dravida means native people of India who've been living thousands of years before Aryan came. They were the original.
And Aryan accepted the culture and the religion of the Dravidas.
Yes, sir. That's because
they did not impose their own culture among Dravidas.
No. Whenever the two culture mix, two custom mix, let's say, custom get improved or get modified. Just like when British came, they brought European dress, so we now everyone wears the European dress.
In fact, I was referring one quote by Patanjali. I have read Yug Purush Patanjali, and according to his thinking, in those days, what you have not referred in your book, but I am referring that Greek warriors, they entered India before these Aryas migrated, and Greek warriors, they were very specifically introduced